Elestrals Championship Series.
I didn't want to do a video complaining, but unfortunately there's things that I feel like need to be said so that either we can fix the issues or we can just at least, at a minimum, not repeat them in future. The road to Worlds is not ideal at the moment. It's in a bit of a rough spot. Unless you're in the US. It's great if you're in the US. There is so many opportunities.
The Elestrals Championship Series welcomes all casters.
But if you're not in the US, it's much harder to do. And I'm not going to talk about Canada here. You guys are on the border. I don't care which side of the line you're on. You have pretty decent opportunities to get to Worlds because you get good distro. You get, I'm assuming you get LGSs. And a trip to the US, to the northern states, is usually not the worst thing in the world. But for my friends over in Europe and for us here in Australia, things are not as positive. What is positive though is we have got a regionals coming up if you are in Australia. Gamers Resort, Shepparton, Victoria, the 23rd of August at 2 p.m. I hope to see so many people there. I want to see a good turnout because this is the one regional Australia gets, which is kind of sad to say, but I need to just address, like, we got 13 days notice for this. I had people on the other side of Australia that were like, let us know as soon as you have a confirmed date so we can take time off work, book flights and accommodation. And we got 13 days notice on this, which is not enough time. Both players that said this to me that were like, yeah, we're going to fly, we'll get a room together and attend so that we can get some qualifying points. Both players were like, this isn't enough notice. It's less than 2 weeks notice. Flights get more expensive the closer to the date. Like, they could have done it for 400, and I don't want to check what flights are right now, but I'm sure it's dramatically more than that. So unfortunately, because we got such late notice, there are players that are not coming. I have a guy that is a 3-hour drive away. He's like, I can't make it now because the notice is too late. I already made plans for that weekend. So really, just as far as notice goes, less than 2 weeks notice for a regional event is just dropping the ball. For the one regional event the country gets, by the way. Like, we aren't getting another one. We can't just go to a different state. Like, people have to travel for this because we don't have options. Like, and 75 points isn't a lot. Like, that's not going to get... The winner doesn't get to go to Worlds. The winner doesn't even get, like, halfway. The winner gets, like, just over a quarter of the points they need for Worlds. So it's kind of forcing people to do Premier events. The other option is obviously an Open. An Open event in Australia would be so good. People would travel for it. We'd need notice. Like, the Kissimmee Open, that has some notice, right? We've been given like 2-3 months, 2.5 months of notice of that event coming up. That's a good amount of notice for people to travel for an event. Here we get like 13 days on a regional and the winner doesn't even get an invite. Like, I don't know, man. it's kind of rough. I think that Australia needs a regional and I think Europe needs a regional. Not regional, Open. Both of those countries need one Open, at least. The UK, I'm kind of including them with Europe because it's like, just a bit of water to get over. It's not the end of the world. Put one in like France or Italy or Germany or something. It's kind of like on the UK side so that the British can attend. Well, heck, put one in London. I don't mind. But Australia needs one. And again, I don't care what part of Australia it's in. Obviously, the one active store we have one inactive store, which is in ACT, which is still not a very populated area, by the way. But that one store is kind of like not real. I don't think they're hosting events anymore. They haven't got Firestorm on their website last I checked. So I don't think they're stocking or running Elestrals events anymore. Which means we have one store. And that one store is in regional Victoria, middle of nowhere, small town, 30,000 people. And I can understand not wanting to host an Open in a small place like that. Cool, put it in Melbourne, put it in Sydney, put it in Perth for all I care. I do not mind. I will travel for an Open. And a lot of us will. A lot of Australians are used to having to travel for events. We get one YCS for Yu-Gi-Oh every year. One. And people are happy to travel for that. So let us travel for Open, right? This is like meant to be a YCS level event. Give us one, man. We get one regional and we get no Open. So where do we get Worlds points? Do we get Worlds points from Premier events that start at midnight? Like, yes, I know I got my invite from that, and it's like kind of a bit funky for me to be like, there's going to be no Australians at Worlds when I'm going to be the Australian at Worlds if I can afford it. But that was torturous to start at midnight, stay up the entire night, and then I got to win the event. I was very lucky to win the event. Like yes, it's a lot of skill, but it is also a ton of luck involved in winning one of these events. And then on top of that, it's just like I still had to go about my day the next day. I couldn't just go to bed. I still had a day ahead of me. And not every Australian can do that. Not every person can just stay up from midnight onwards. And we're also in a situation where, like, some people don't have a computer or webcam or a setup to be able to do this. My setup's not very good. Have you seen it? It's awful. It's a very small desk. And not a lot of people like playing webcam. Like, my brother hates it. Just hates doing webcam events. And I can't blame him for that. The kid's decent at the game. He built Outback Sunrise. But unfortunately, he can't do events. Or he's not going to do a premiere. He lives at home. He's young. He, can't be up all night. He has like 2 jobs. He's got stuff to do, man. So premiere events are not really a reliable way, in Australia at least, for people to be able to play Elestrals at a competitive level. So we need events in person. We need in-person events, even if people have to travel for it. It gives people an option. Give us options. We got a regional with no notice, so people can't attend that. We're not getting it open. Maybe there's a chance that we'll get another regional for live stream and then another one for whatever set follows live stream. I don't know, Solar Thunder, I think. I don't know. Whatever comes next. Maybe we will get 3 regionals between now and Worlds. But 75 times 3 still doesn't equal 250. Someone could win all 3 regionals and still not get their Worlds invite. They've still got to be doing premier events. If we look at the points for the set championship, 20 points. 20 points, it could be 0 at that point. 20 points is not much. It's really just, I don't consider this even getting points. I say that as the person who got the 20 points. I was like, can I pass the points on? Like, someone else needs that 20 points more, because that's like a 12th, not even a 12th of the points you need to go to Worlds. So that's fine, whatever. Set championship, you're there for something else. You're not there for Worlds points. Regionals, only 75 points. So if we get 3 in the same location, then someone could get, 225. And then they win 2 set championships or win 1 and do well in another. That's how you get a Worlds invite. You got to win 4.5 events. This though, right? And I get it. Like, I get that you kind of don't want to do 250 points to an Australian Open event that's going to have maybe at best 50 players. At best. I get it. But that's because we don't have product. There's no players because there's no stores. So, like, if no LGS is selling product, people can't buy the product to play the game. We have to get it international. The shipping is a nightmare. We have one guy in Australia that gets like 20 Shattered Stars bundles, so he gets like the cheaper cost, and then just sends them out to everyone, and we all just pitch in for, the cost on that a little bit. Just because it's so much cheaper to have one person ship 20 bundles and then send them to everyone by post than it is to individually pay shipping on the Shattered Stars bundles we want. So buying cards online isn't a very good option. People are doing it. We definitely have players doing it. And if we look at the Clash ladder, I believe we'll flick over here. We have random guy here. I bet none of you knew this. This is an Australian, by the way, but he lives so far away from an LGS that stocks cards, he just doesn't get to play the game in paper. So he plays Clash, and he's clearly like either good at or really likes the game, probably both. And it's a name that almost everyone in the community that played the beta got to see when they were playing the beta, because he was your opponent all the time. MBT put up a video, random guy's the opponent. But when I was like, hey, do you play? He's like, I don't have cards because there's nowhere to buy them. And I don't want to pay the shipping cost. His LGS doesn't stock them because there's no players. And so the players won't play because there's no product. And there's no product because the LGS won't stock them because there's no players. And we're just creating an infinite loop, a self-fulfilling prophecy. No product equals no players equals no LGS equals no product. We need Let's Play Games to pick up distribution so that Good Games Australia, our nationwide card shop, can start picking up this game and start selling it. Having it on the shelf means people will play and be able to do events. Like we have one active locals in the country. 2 if you count our online one. So we need more access to the cards, obviously, which would allow more players to play. And then something like a store open wouldn't be so unreasonable to have, 30 to 40 people competing for a Worlds invite. And then, with the 200 points, and then if, someone in the top 4 gets a regional, maybe we can send 3 people. Are we really that afraid of sending 3 Australians a world invite? Like, I don't think that's unreasonable. That's my thoughts on it, is like, over in the US, there's already been 2 of these announced, 2 opens. We got a few months, and there's probably going to be another 4 to 5. And between that, we're going to send 40 to 50 Americans to Worlds, and 1 Australian got lucky enough to go by playing an online overnight event. So what about, maybe we need alternatives. How about an online premier event in an Australian time zone? An online premier event in a European time zone? So that people don't have to be up all night to do this. Like, does it really need to be something that is exclusive to Americans? Yeah, you'll get lower attendance. But that's what happens when a country doesn't have a distributor and product and attendance. And like, if you're not putting on events for people in other countries, then people in other countries aren't going to play the game, of course. The only way to boost that is to get people to play. The other option is we have No Brainer. Now, No Brainer is someone that works with Elestrals or works for Elestrals. I'm not here to leak information. However, he hosts an online locals for Australians every Sunday at 5 p.m. So if you're in Australia, you don't know about this, please get on there, attend. Let's boost those numbers. Why can't he host a regional? Like, it's kind of like an LGS experience at home on your computer for Australians. It's great. Give him a regional. Give us a no-brainer Sunday regional. Set it up at like 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Even if it starts at noon. Whatever. Give us that, please. Please give us that. I think that'd be an option. Then we have a second regional in Australia. It's one that isn't limited by travel. So people that live on different sides of the country can still compete and play and have an opportunity to win these points. Put an entry fee on it. Like, is that really that awful? Is that a bad idea? I think that's a good idea. So give us either a premier in our time zone, which I get. With judges, it's a little harder to deal with. Lower player base means less judges, I guess. Or give us an open somewhere in the country. Please. or give us more regionals. Like, give us a lot more regionals. And maybe they're all going to be at the same store because we've only got the one store. Or maybe we reach out to these stores and get them to host regionals for a card game they don't stock. They might still be willing to. It just gives people an opportunity to play. It would be really nice. These poor players in like Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane and Perth that want to play this game and are buying the cards but can't attend events. It sucks, dude. Like, and I'm not the only Australian playing this game and getting points. Fraser Nader has 65 points. He's a quarter of the way there. If he wins the regionals, he'll be just over halfway. That's awesome. That still doesn't get him to Worlds, though. Like, he's as good at the game as I am. Why is he missing out? Ree's out. He's still learning. He's still new to the game. He only started after I got my invite. But, again, he's got 40 points. He's on the way. He's, working his way to Worlds. We got to see him on stream the other day at the Premier event. And he played so well and won and everything. He did super well. So it's not like we don't have players or we don't have good players. What we have is players with no opportunity to play. That's not good. Like, give us an opportunity. Get us out there. Get us away to Worlds. That's not a big ask. I really don't think that's a big ask. And then there's one more complaint. So we've covered the two complaints so far, which is 13 days notice for a regional is abysmal. And personally, I don't believe that's good enough. I do not believe that's enough notice. We need at least a month, probably more, just to give people an opportunity. 2 months notice would be huge. Like, I booked my flights to Perth 2 months in advance. I would like if people in Perth had the opportunity to do that, to come to a regional here, because both Dooms and Reezout were like, yeah, we're coming. We want to know as soon as you have a confirmed date. And then when they get their confirmed date, they're like, it's too late. We can't make that. That's not enough notice. So, more notice on regionals. Some sort of like something in Australia. I don't care if it's store opens. I don't care if it's a premiere in our time zone. I don't care if it's a regional for No Brainer to host. Give us something, or give us more regionals, like at least 8. Put them in different states. Reach out to stores and be like, hey, could you host an event for us? Like, the thing is, like, obviously, if you host one of these in Brisbane, you might only have 2 players show up because these guys can't get cards, so why would they be attending a regional? So I get that. But we've got more than, like, let's do the math on it. We've got 7, and we've got, I would say, at least 8 active, consistent players that I feel there's at least 8 players in my town that will 100% show up for a regional. And at least 6 of those would be willing to travel to, like, Melbourne for an event. And there's another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so in Melbourne that I know of that would also attend an event there. We could easily get a 16-player regional just dumped anywhere in Melbourne. Reach out to, like, Grand J Games and be like, hey, can you host a regional for this card game? That'd be awesome. It's like, yeah, he doesn't stock it, but hey, it'd be something. But the last complaint I have is the Worlds itself. When is it? Where is it? Like, I have to fly international for this. I am not going to be able to do that if you give me 13 days notice on a date and location. Like, we were told more info was coming soon, but at this point, there's been zero information. It's like, cool, I want a Worlds invite. That was 2 months ago. That was more than 2 months ago. And at this point, we have zero information on where or when Worlds is. We were just told 2026. That's a big window. Is it January or is it August? Like, is it, we're expecting March, May, April, around there. Said that in the wrong order. But that's a guess. It could be August next year. And I don't know how long I have to put together the funds to be able to go. And again, location is another thing. I don't know how much I'm paying. I don't know how much flights are going to cost. Because obviously flights to California, I think, is on the left-hand side, are going to be cheaper than flights to New York on the right. I don't know a lot about America. I don't know all the American geography. Geography? That was... We need some sort of announcement, please, A-Drive. Please. Even if it's just like a private email, do not leak to the world's contenders. Just to be like, hey guys, this is the date and location we're thinking or looking at. Even if it's not even set in stone. Just some sort of idea as to where I'm going and when, so I can make plans and arrangements around it. Like, I have friends in the US and Canada that I would like an opportunity to be able to see while I'm over there. I'd love to be able to give them more than like 13 days notice to be like, hey, I'm going to be in your area. And like, an area would be so good. Like, I got, one of my friends is in Texas. If we're going to host Worlds in Texas, I'll meet up with him. But if it's going to be in Seattle, I'm not going to. It's kind of a trip. So I wouldn't mind being able to just, reach out to friends. Heck, I have got an absolute angel of a friend over in, I don't even know what state. I should know what state. I know it's near Florida. It might even be Florida. I'd love to be able to hit him up and be like, hey man, can I stay? Save on accommodation? Can I crash at yours? It probably wouldn't work out. We try it. Like, I can look at these things, look at organising to meet up with people or look at organising to stay with a friend if I know where it is. And I know I'm not the only Worlds competitor that is anxiously waiting to find out when and where this is to make plans around it. Like, I'd like to have as much notice as possible to be like, hey, I can't work for a week here. Or to be able to fill out forms to go to another country that say I'm traveling on this date because I don't know what date it is. I don't know where it is. Give us something. Even if it's just we're thinking this or we're hoping for this, but it's not set in stone, so don't book anything yet. At least it gives us something to work with. So please give us some sort of information on Worlds as soon as possible. Please, like, the waiting is the most painful part because I'm just waiting to find out. Like, the worst thing is, like, we don't know how long we're waiting either. Like, am I going to get a month's notice? Am I going to get 6 months' notice? We don't have a rough time period. We have a guess. We don't have a rough location. We can guess that the Dallas Open was kind of like a precursor to Worlds, like a test run of Worlds. But that's a guess. It gives us no information. Like, maybe it's going to be in Dallas. Maybe it's going to be in March. Maybe because the World season started in May, it's going to be in May. But maybe it's a run-up. Maybe it is just a bit early. Like, we started it a bit early. But because it's the first one, we're not doing it till August or November of 2026. We don't know. We have no info. Some sort of Worlds info would be so good. But at the moment, we've got nothing. We've got no Worlds info. We've got, if you're in the wrong country, which is apparently anywhere but America, you don't have any way to get to Worlds. And even if there is like some slim chance of getting some points, you're not getting told when you can get those points until it's far too late. So this is my complaint video, and it's kind of also me just begging some way to go to Worlds for someone else that isn't me. Like, that's it. It's not me kicking my feet, stamping, being like, I want to go to Worlds, this is unfair. This is me as someone who is going to Worlds recognizing that it is unfair for other players. I don't want to be the only international player there. I don't think that's very fair on other people in the community who play this game as much as I do, enjoy this game as much as I do. Just because I got lucky enough to draw Rise from the Ashes a few extra times. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hopefully this doesn't fall on deaf ears. Yeah. Cobalt signing out. I have a more positive video coming on the Lumaroo's channel tomorrow. But I feel like this one... I waiting on a thumbnail, actually. So, hopefully tomorrow. Otherwise, yeah. I don't want to do all negative videos. I don't want to complain all the time. This is what I feel like it has come to. Toodaloo.